'Cause what I'm trying to do is enthuse you, so that you and I might together strive to change more people's point of view. For those who can't eat as much.
Hey guys, it's Bobby with Pride Custom Firearms, and today is the first day of a I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. I was at work earlier, and all of a sudden the power just went out, and the streets just got backed up. Cars, they wouldn't run. And I work in a pretty populous area of town, but I mean, it's not a big town, probably I guess 25,000 population, but the cars just backed up. They just all stopped working and started backing up. I tried to use the phone, and the phones were working, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it was a EMP from Korea or what. I don't know what's going on, but right now I'm headed to a rendezvous point. One of the guys that I work with, he is also meeting me up here. This is our contingency plan for something like this if something like this ever happened. The location that we're at is a base that I set up a couple years ago, and it's about 10 miles from my office. And it's about another 11 miles to my house from here, so it's our halfway point. So what we've done is we've grabbed our bags, and the reason why I made it here before him is because he had to go pick up his boys. He's got two sons that go to public school, and he had to go get them from school, and then they were stopping by their house, and then he was marching out here too with his boys, so he'll probably be a little while getting out here. But anyway, I'm kind of worried right now on my wife. You guys know she's 9 months pregnant, almost 9 months pregnant, and our baby's due in a couple weeks, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Right now I'm real thankful though that we've already taken all the precautions and all the steps to have a home birth. We've done the education, we finished our classes, and we're ready to do this. So, you know, power or not, we're gonna have a baby. But anyway, we're gonna shack up here tonight in the little bivouac area, and the bugs are horrible. Not mosquitoes, they're just friggin' gnats, I guess. I don't know what they are, but anyway, we'll go on down there and I'll show you the base. As a matter of fact, I haven't been down here in over a year actually. Last time I came up was during the summer, or during the winter. Over a year ago. It was last winter, and camped up here. So anyway, I've got my my get home bag that I keep in my truck. I keep a change of clothes at my office and my boots. So I went ahead and changed to get out of my military uniform, because that'll just bring attention on me, and changed into something less tactical looking. In my bag, I don't have a tactical looking bag. It's just a black bag. So anyway, let's head down here to the bivouac area and make sure it's still there. Like I said, I haven't been down here in a while. Getting pretty pretty close now. I'll make sure there ain't nobody else down here. You always want to check your areas when you come into an area, especially in a situation like this. Make sure ain't nobody discovered it or been occupying it. So we're gonna go in armed and make sure it's clear. Looks pretty good. Shelter still intact. There's definitely some damage to it. Probably animals in the wind, combination of animals and wind, and 2 years worth of winters. Looks like it's still in pretty decent shape though. Fire ring's still in good condition. My lantern down there, it ain't gonna work anyway, so that don't matter. Probably an animal or something. We got a few tracks in here. There's a couple of tracks, but they look like animal track, not anything else. Let's go down here and make sure that we still have a water source down here. I actually took some pretty good precautions when I mapped this place out a couple years ago, and I found an area topographically that looked like it would have water. So I came out here, and sure enough, it's not a lot, but it is natural. It's a spring, and you can see, yes, we've got water. Alright, so I started cleaning up a bit, and a couple of rocks had fallen off the retaining wall for the fire pit. So I went ahead and got those fixed back, started gathering up some dry firewood. It's important to have a source of firewood because the smoke is going to take care of these gnats, and then we're going to use that to purify our water as well as to cook our food and so on and so forth. So later on, I'll go through the contents here of my my get home bag, and but right now I want to show you something, because this property actually has a stocked pond on it, and that's important to have a place to get food from. So in a situation like this, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to grab my my fishing setup, which I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to grab my fishing setup, and I'm going to head back up to the pond, because you actually come into contact with the pond before you get down in here. So that'll be the place where Nathan comes to with his boys, is the pond. So this is my my fishing kit here, and it's just a piece of 1-inch PVC pipe. It's about about a foot long or so, and I've got caps on either end of it. Now, I don't have them glued, they're just stuck on there. And up inside of this cap, or up inside of this side, and these gnats are eating me up. Up inside of this side is a little bag that we can pull out. And inside of this bag, well, yeah, you can see it here. I'm not going to pull all the way out because it's a pain to get back in. I don't want to have to pull it out, put it back in, and then pull it back out again when I get back up there. So anyway, dang, these gnats are eating me alive. So you get the bag in there, and in that bag are some extra hooks and some lures, just some rubber worms, and some anchors, and I think that's about it in there. And then on this end, I've got some fishing line wrapped around and taped in place here, and it's just wrapped around. And then this cap, you can pull it off and then pull the fishing line out, and there's a bobber and a hook in there. So you can just pull that out, adjust the bobber, and put whatever kind of bait on it you want to put on it. But it'll cast right off the end of this thing, and you don't have to do anything really. You just cast right off the end of it, and it works really good for that. And you just leave the end of it off. You put your bait on it and cast it out. So I'm going to go do some fishing with this, try to catch some fish, and so on. So we're going to head up to the pond now and wait on Nathan to get here. All right, we just made it back from the fishing hole from the pond, and we've been back a few minutes, and Nathan and the boys showed up, which is good. It's nice to have some help and you know, to be together. So we got back to the camp and got a tent set up for the boys. Nathan actually packed it in. I'm not a firm believer of packing in a tent. Carry so much more stuff, but anyway, we got that set up, and the boys started gathering some firewood, and now they're just kind of hanging out. So what happened? The power went out today at school? Yeah, and so they just walked a pretty good distance to get out here. So anyway, I was just telling them how important it is to be quiet in this situation, because being loud out here in the woods, your voice will carry for a long distance, and we don't want anybody knowing that we're back here. So anyway, Nathan should be back momentarily. He went to get the fish from the pond. We had to pack his gear in here, so he went back to get the fish. It's about 3/4 of a mile in that direction back to the pond. So just been cleaning up a little bit here, getting ready to start a fire, and I'm not going to go too in depth on fire starting. Fire starting out here during the summer is easy. Wood will be good and dry. But anyway, you see I've got a couple different stacks. I've got a stack of little stuff there. That's going to be what I get the fire going with. And then I've laid a bed down, and what that does is it allows oxygen to get up underneath the fire. And then we'll move to this wood here, and then we've got some bigger stuff. And the object here is to create a sustainable fire, a self-sustaining fire, something that we can keep feeding and it won't go out. So, or that we don't have to continue to feed and it won't go out, because it'll have a nice coal bed going. So we're getting ready to do that. So we'll go through a little bit of the gear that's in my my get home bag here, and get my fire kit out, and we'll get going on it. All right, so different people build fires different ways, okay? But what I do is I make a teepee. See how I've got a teepee here?
What's the bottom stuff?
Well, I'll tell you in just a second, but I leave the teepee, one side of it open so we can get in here, okay? We still have plenty of little stuff here, because we want what's called a self-sustaining fire, okay? What that means is that you don't have to keep feeding it wood. It'll burn until there's a nice coal bed, and then you can, once it burns down, you can put wood on it and blow it back to life, okay? So what we've done is we have a little teepee here, and we lay the big wood down first to keep it up off the damp ground, because water and fire don't mix. So we're trying to keep that down. And then we make a neat little bed here to lay our tinder on. Alright?
What's that?
This is a fire kit.
Oh.
So what we have here is we have a little bit of dryer lint. You know the lint that you pull out of the dryer? Take a little bit of dryer lint. And we're going to use what's called wet fire.
What's wet fire?
That's what this is right here. It's called wet fire. So what you do with wet fire is we're going to take and open up our dryer lint like this, and we're going to put our wet fire right in the center of it.
Like a sandwich?
Yep, sort of like a sandwich. And what this wet fire does is even when it's wet, it will burn.
Oh.
And what that does is it gives us time to get wood on the fire. So we put that right here, and what the lint is for is because the lint will catch a spark really easy and help that wet fire catch on fire. You don't have to have it, but it helps. Alright, so we got a bunch of little stuff here to feed on it once we get it going, okay? So now what we'll do is we'll take this thing, and this is a flint striker, okay? So we'll hold it right here. See, watch this. See the sparks? So we'll hold it right here next to it.
Awesome.
And it'll catch that wet fire on.
Is Daddy almost here? Is he?
Hopefully. And then we'll just lay these small sticks right over top of the wet
Can
fire.
we help? Can we help?
You can hand them to me, but you got to go real slow because it's not a built fire yet. Okay?
It
So we just-
smells like
You need to sit down, Jacob, because you're blocking. All right. So now we just put these sticks on there, these little sticks, and we're just going to lay them right across the top of it like this.
Good job, Chip. Don't do that.
Okay, but we don't want to go too fast. We got to leave plenty of room in there for it to breathe. This fire needs a lot of air, a lot of oxygen to burn.
Like this. Stop your hand. Stop. Here you go, mister. Here you go, Mr. Bobby. Mr. Bobby's my real name.
And we'll just keep feeding this, and it'll eventually take off and burn on its own.
Eventually. Here's some.
Okay, let's take this little stuff and pile it around the edges here. Let me see this.
So you're using all of the other stuff to pile it up? Wow, that's cool. It's going up. Are you sure it's okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Dairy Queen is a good place. A good place.
And this will help keep the bugs away too.
Dairy Queen is a good place. You can see another stick. I'm getting hot. Please.
No, you don't want to put leaves on it. Leaves will smother it out.
Smother. Like this. Hey, oh! I didn't. Bobby, can you do one like this?
Alright, now we'll let that get going a little bit. And we'll start putting this bigger stuff on it here.
So the bigger. So the smaller, bigger, small, bigger.
Yeah, you start with the small stuff, and then you go to the big stuff. And we have to be sure every time, once we get the fire going, we want to put all of our fire stuff back in this little kit so that it stays drying together. Because when it's dark, you may not be able to find it. We don't want the fire to get too big, so we're not going to feed it too fast. So we're just gonna let that start burning down a little bit, okay?
Can I put this on?
Yep, you can throw it on there.
Whoa, this is a big one. Hey, come on.
Don't put it on the fire. Stack it next to the fire in that other wood stack.
Hold on. Hey, Jacob. We're on these this.
Alright, so there's a few different ways that you can purify some water to drink. Now, this water here in this is spring fed, so it's pretty clean. You could drink it if you wanted, if you had to, right out of this. But just to be on the safe side, I like to purify everything. So there's a few ways that you can do it. Now, what I've done here is I have that stainless steel bottle that I filled up earlier when we first came to camp, and I just put it in the fire and let it boil for about 15 minutes, and that should kill off any of the bacteria that's in it. It may not be very good to drink, but it'll kill off the bacteria. So what I've got it now is, it just came off. You might be able to see the steam, but what it's doing is it's just cooling down now. In this cold spring water, it'll cool it off quicker, and then we'll pour it into our Brita water bottle to filter it. And all the filter does is just a charcoal filter. It gets out some of the taste of whatever might be in the water, and it'll catch the floaties that are in the water as well. Now, also, another way that you can purify the water is with purification tablets, and we'll do a batch with purification tablets once that cools down. Anyway, Nathan's back now. He managed to go down to a little market that was closed, and the owner was there, and so he gave him some cash and got a few supplies. But not much. You can see there it's not a whole lot of stuff, but enough to fill us up tonight, and we'll have a little bit left to use tomorrow. So he's up here cleaning this stringer of fish right now. So you can see we caught quite a few little bluegill there and perch off of that little homemade rod and reel type survival thing. So it works good if you can find the worms. So anyway, just getting those. That's another good thing to have along with the little fishing setup is a good fillet knife. So I keep one of those in my bag too. I'm glad I had that now. But anyway, so we're just working away on that. It was good that you found that rice at the store down there.
Yeah.
This stuff's pretty awesome. The store owner gave us a bag of rice and a can of cream of chicken soup, and so we cooked some rice over the fire and put some cream of chicken in it. We got some of the fish that we caught. Nathan filleted up. We got that frying right now. The store owner gave us a little bottle of vegetable oil, so we're frying that. You guys know I always have cornmeal with me, so we breaded it up in some cornmeal. So yeah, we're gonna hold down the fort tonight here and fill our bellies up and build some energy, because we got like 12-mile hike tomorrow to get the rest of the way to my house. I'm really hoping that Stevie and the baby are okay. So anyway, I definitely don't want to walk in this rain. That's for sure. Did you hear it start?
Yeah.
I don't know how long. I guess it just started when I woke up.
It started probably about not even 5 minutes before I took my food.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a little long in that. Not much longer. You can hear it coming.
Yeah, the only way I heard it was because of the tarp that's built into this thing.
I hear it coming through the trees.
I'm glad
That hickory smoke too.
yeah. I'm glad that store owner was there when you were coming through. Hooked it up. This rain sucks, I know that much. It's gonna be a long 11-mile hike home. Man, it's already sizzling.
Mm-hmm.
Jojo will be up now, smelling food cooking.
Yeah, that's the only thing to get him up.
So what was over? Oh, that rain. Good way to catch drinking water without having to refill or without having to purify it. Right out of that puddle in there.